Everybody, Coach Alex again, and today, guys, I'm going to do another anime review, and the review is to Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 13, guys, Episode 13. Sorry, guys, this review being late. I just didn't get a chance to do review last time, so I couldn't watch the episode. I was doing other things at that point, but either way, let's get into the review of Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 13. So, guys, in this episode of Boku no Hero Academia, first up, right now it's a calm episode, but yet again, it's also leading up to a major plot point where the villain we're going to get introduced in this episode. We got the villain. I remember correct. His name was the Hero Killer. That's not his proper name. Eden. I think that's his full name. But pretty much the Hero Killer. Pretty much you're leading up to the point, the part of the arc, this arc with the Hero Killer. Now, during most of this episode, like all of this episode, pretty much what the episode is pretty much about is everyone in class trying to figure out what their code name supposed to be, or their hero name. And everybody was trying to figure out what hero name is going to be, because of course, if you're a hero, even though it's common to be a hero in Boku no Hero Academia, in the world Boku no Hero Academia, you see 90% of people have quirks, super abilities, so it means nearly like 50 at the minimum of people who got quirks become heroes. So it'd be common to see a hero around. So it won't be that weird to see that many people around that be heroes. So you should know their true identity quite easily. But we already know with All Might, there are heroes out there who people don't know their true identity of. Because of that, it makes sense, again, why they still need code names for their hero. Because first up, it's flashy, they need to stand out somewhat. But also, again, there are some heroes we now know in the series, like All Might, who can't reveal their true identity because, yet again, because as their number one hero, for example, as his number one hero, we definitely know he'd be having a big target on him if people know his actual true identity. So we definitely know why code names are needed. So of course they need hero names. So during the episode, they're mostly in class, and they try to figure out what name everybody wants to be known as. And some people start with wacky names, I think it's quite obvious from the freaking situation. I knew they did it. I know they did it for comedy aspect, but I think it was quite from a logical standpoint, because as they're humans after all, they knew they need a cool name, not like a name that doesn't make sense, or a name that sounds too comedic. They can't, unless their actual quirk, there is no way you cannot make a comedic name out of it. But some of the characters here just came up with freaking weird names, very weird names, surprisingly. What, that fucking belly button laser dude? He fucking made a sentence for his fucking name, so of course they had to change that name. There was no way you could fucking make a name out of that. That was fucking hilarious. What the Now, but pretty much, after getting those comedic and idiotic names out of the way, after Frog Girl came in, or Flappy, that's what she can get known as, freaking hell, she's gonna be known as Frappy. But makes logical sense. It's a bit comedic. Like I said, comedic name is why. But like I said, there are some quirks that there's no way you cannot make a proper serious name out of it. So it makes sense why she knows Frappy. I read the name, but I don't think I said it right. But pretty much, we got name of, that's her name. Pretty much she's going to want to be known by it. It got accepted. It was normal as well for her, and makes sense for her quirk, and it's understandable why it got called that. So I understand why her name is like that. But it's still comedic, but that's the only downside because of her quirk. So unless the quirk, like I said, unless the quirk unfortunately is somewhat comedic, and there's really no other way you get called unless you get called Frog Girl. But yet again, that's a bit offensive, so it makes sense why she didn't call herself that. But pretty much if there was no way she could come up with a more like badass name. Now, with or a good meaning, like to her quirks, because thanks to her quirk. But either way, and after that, everybody started actually getting proper serious names, except for Boku. Because all of his names he came up with until I take it near the end of the episode. His name, he pretty much came up with pretty much villain names. Like, it was quite obvious from the way, like, I understand explosion, and it makes sense why, because his ability is explosions. But he had murderer to the name. Boku, you're a fucking hero. You want to be a fucking hero. Why murderer? Because of the fucking villain name. Even in Boku no Hero Academia universe, do you think you'll ever meet a hero with the name Murderer in the name? Like, Murderer? Nope, I don't think I would find a hero who got Murderer in the name. Even if that quirk could be something connected to murder, I don't think they would be called Murderer. Because, as it's called there is a sign that if their ability is connected to murder or killing and stuff like that, there are a lot of ways you can make it sound badass and not make it scary. Like, too scary, or, make it not, like, it can make it easier, but, so we don't fully know what Boku's hero name is going to be. We don't know what that's going to be, but yeah. But at the end of that point of the episode, Midori chooses his name. He finally chooses his name, and the code name he's going to go by, it was quite obvious, Deku. He's going to be known as Deku, which I understand why, because for most of his life, because of Boku, he's seen the name Deku as a negative meaning. But ever since he met Manami, I'm still bad with her name, but pretty much Levitation Girl, or I think her name, if I remember correct, her name was, I'm trying to remember her name. Her hero name was, I can't remember her hero name, fuck. Never mind, but Levitation Girl, pretty much ever since she changed the meaning of the name, pretty much after someone, like I said, after she changed the meaning of his name Deku, and actually, because we know, if you watched last season, what the meaning of the name now he represents name as, he feels like this might be the best name for him, because back when he was a kid, he wanted to be named like name similar to All Might, but he now knows the difference between him and All Might, ever since got the ability of All for One, so he decided to go for a name that still meant to him, still actually represents him, and also still has some sort of meaning to him, and that's why he chose the name Deku. So that's what the hero name he chose. Now, the next part of the episode, because it's also separated to other parts, next part of the episode is hero agencies, or pretty much choosing which agency or which hero you want people could work with. Now, during this episode, people got recommendations from agencies and also other heroes. Not just agencies in general, but actual heroes themselves. Choose which hero which student among the UA students they want to have as a sidekick or something like that. Or train, pretty much people like that. Or who want to join an agency. So during this, people got recommendations I was shocked at the first part, the first recommendation Midori didn't get chosen. But people, like I said, I found out that most people chose it from being scared. But Boku, I'm surprised he got second place. Because people are fucking scared of him, but he got second place for pretty much being, even though he got first place in the tournament, he got second place for being the second recommended. Because it makes sense why Todoroki got represented, why he became a hero, why he got recommended by an agency, because why he got mostly recommended by agency, because of him being the son of Inferno. We definitely know the reason why he got recommended by most students. I'm surprised Midori didn't get recommended by a lot Like, at least I would expect him to become third. I would at least expect that, because of how epic his fight was. But I think what let him down the most to get mostly not recommended by people was because of the letdown that he can seriously injure himself while using his quirk. And we now know how agencies judge how they judge who they want to be in their agency and stuff, and who they want to recommend is by first appearance. They don't judge of how powerful they could get, or how they can actually avoid limitations. They actually do judge by first appearance. They judge it by first appearance and be like, I don't like that way of thinking. Like, I mean, I understand, but yet again, I also understand that you should not just judge, like I said, we all know you should not judge by first appearance. But yet again, in a hero standpoint, I understand why they want to choose heroes who showed immense potential straight away without any serious drawbacks to their quirk or any of their actual body, and why they want to put them into their agency. So I understand that. But Midori does get a recommendation. He does get a recommendation, like, after showing the results of the people most people who got recommended by, Midori does get a recommendation. Like the day after they show the results of who got recommended by a certain hero or agency, and Midori got a recommended person, but my autism clicks in, but pretty much he got recommended by a hero, or a hero wanted to train him or recommended him, and it ends up being this hero called Gran Torino, and pretty much it's a teacher that was part of UA for only 1 year, a teacher that worked at UA for 1 year only, who trained All Might. The teacher that worked with All Might, who also knew All Might's quirk, as well. So this teacher, this Gran Torino, knew All Might since he was in school, and also the one who knew also about All for One. So guys, got cut off. My camera on my phone got cut off because it ran out of space for videoing. But pretty much, back to what I was saying. But pretty much, he got recommended by this hero, Gran Torino, who is the person who trained All Might for 1 year in UA. So, and he does know the secrets about All for One. So, it makes logical sense why Midori would be recommended by this guy, because he does have a connection to All Might, and also being also knowing the secrets about All for One. It does make sense why he is want to recommend him, Midori, as a potential pupil or sidekick for him being hero. Now, we've now found out that this person All Might is scared of. He's scared of him because this person, it used to be a friend. Gran Torino used to be a friend of the previous owner. Pretty much, All Might's previous success. The hero that All Might was successor of. Pretty much the original owner of All for One before All Might. He was a close friend of that person, and because of that, he knew him quite well. Because thanks to have interactions with the old owner of All for One before All Might. So it makes sense why, but found out he's scared of him. All Might's scared of him. Now we know. And it makes you wonder what kind of person he is. Now, at the end of the episode, we do notice he's an old guy. Now, it makes logical sense. It's a person that All Might knew when he was younger. So we knew he was going to be old. We don't know how well, but he looks shrimpy. So, looks like he must have an ability, because in the little screenshots of him when he looked like he was young, we saw that he must have had an ability that is similar to All For One, but maybe not actually All For One. But the ability, of course, maybe to strengthen himself or something like that. So we definitely know. That's why I feel like after this shrimpy old guy uses his quirk, he's gonna end up being badass. He's gonna end up looking badass. But as he is an old guy, might end up having the cliche of the reason why it's scared of him because of the training scenario. The training he's gonna go through is gonna be torture or creepy. That's the kind of training situation he's gonna be. Midoriya's gonna end up being. Now, and that's what we now know, and that's what pretty much that's what I suspect the kind of training we're going to see with him and Midori during this season. Now, most of this episode also showed character development for Ide. Like, first up, the location where Ide wants to go and train and work for the agency for. But the agency he chose was the same location where his brother got attacked by the hero killer. And all these references during the episode, Midori, Midori himself from the future, because don't forget, the person that was talking was Midori, but it wasn't him at that point. It was him from the future, pretty much backtrack or the background talking, pretty much Midori's past self, future self talking about he regrets that he didn't empathize or try to convince or, try to help out more with Ide at that point, so he regrets that moment. So we definitely know something big is going to happen during with Ide, when it was around that area. So we definitely know what's going to happen. But pretty much, that's all that really happened in the episode. It just got a lot of foreshadowing of what's going to happen for next week, the rest of the episodes we're going to have for this season, and I can't wait. And we're going to see more of this arc. I've been said by quite a few fans of the manga, I've heard that this is going to be one of the best arcs, or possibly the best arc of Boku no Hero Academia, which I can't fucking wait for. I can't fucking wait for the rest of the arc. But yeah, pretty much, so far, foreshadowing we're getting, I can't wait. Seeing that foreshadow fully resolved, and I can't wait to see the rest of these episodes. And now, let's go for the animation. Animation, again, looked good. Nothing too bad. Didn't see any too big of a deal. I think it was during, some certain parts when they were, showing their names and stuff. There was some animation and facial derps there, but nothing really else anyway. But anyway, that's all I've got to say. Anyway, guys, that was my anime review to Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 13, guys, episode 13. I hope you guys like it. Become Child fans today. If you guys in the FML, go down below. And yeah, hope you guys like it. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys there. Bye, guys. Wow.